All right, ma'am. So who do I have here with me today?
Hi, my name is Hellabella. Well, I go by Hellabella, but my name is Tiana.
Hellabella. That's an
Yes.
interesting name to say
Thank
the
you.
least. First off, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Secondly, how old are you and what's your current living situation?
I am 33 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My current situation, I'm not currently homeless, but
That's
I
good.
was just experiencing homelessness for about 2.5 years
Two
myself
and a
in
half
California
years?
as well as out here. I'm originally from California, the Bay Area,
Wow.
Vallejo, California. I came to Arizona in 2011 and I went back for 2 years and I got back last February, because
Last
it's
year.
2025 now.
I gotta ask this. Everybody that I ask, I'm all over the valley in Arizona here, and I when I talk to people, they always say that they're from somewhere else. Can you elaborate a little bit on what brought you here from California, and are the circumstances and situations different being homeless and displaced out there versus here?
Well, what brought me to Arizona was change. I moved here when I was 19, so I was kind of new to the adulting thing.
Mm-hmm.
And cost of living was a lot cheaper back in 2011, but
Wasn't
it's
it,
still
though?
cheaper compared to California,
ma'am.
especially
Yeah.
the Bay Area. It's a very expensive area.
Very
I
true.
had a handful of family here. My dad actually always lived in Arizona. I used
Oh,
to
really?
I spent a couple summers here when I was like really little, not too
Okay.
little, probably like 10, 11. But I moved here to get to know my dad a little more
That's
and to just try something new. You know what I mean? You
All
got to
right.
do something you never did. Get
Yeah.
something you never got. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Like I was telling you earlier, a famous quote Charleston White says, can't go backwards looking in the rearview mirror. Can't go forward looking in the rearview mirror. I'm sorry.
Correct.
So yeah, that's definitely true.
As far as homelessness goes in the Bay Area compared to here, well, I just read the 48 Laws of Power, and
Good book.
a specific part of the book stuck out to me, and it was saying that when we separate ourselves, we make ourselves more of a target. You know what I mean? Perfect example, like if I'm at the bus stop and I'm by myself or just with one other person,
Yeah.
and you're not supposed to be lingering at the bus stop or whatnot,
Yeah.
the police are for sure gonna come. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Mess
you're
with
good.
me first. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Versus if it's a group of people, you know what I
Very
mean? They gotta
true.
pick and choose who they choose to mess with. You know what I mean?
Very true.
So in the Bay Area, I think it's a little more unity. Like it's actually like homeless camps,
Hmm.
and like people be like building houses
I
out of
know. I
like.
see it all over
They get
YouTube.
real creative for real.
Yeah, that's
See, when I was in the Bay,
unique.
I was sleeping in my car, so
Okay.
I wasn't like on the street.
All right.
But I lost my vehicle before I came back to Arizona. So being in Arizona, I was homeless without a vehicle, which is a whole nother story. Whole nother story.
Can you elaborate on what it's like, what a woman being homeless out here on these streets is like? Are you afraid, or were you afraid? Because of the men and things of that nature. Did they try to, hit on you? Ask for favors? Like the blade start. The
Yeah.
blade talk. And stuff.
Well, it's definitely not safe for an attractive woman like myself to be out here. Scared, no. I'm really from the trenches. Like I grew up in foster care half my life.
So you've been through it.
I got sex trafficked out of Florida at the age of 3 years old, from
man.
3 to 7.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so I've been through a lot. So scared, no, I don't fear nobody but God, straight up.
Yeah.
Fear comes from the devil.
So would you say
Not from God,
experience is the best teacher?
Definitely. You
Yeah.
got to go to it to grow through it, you know?
Yeah, very,
And
very true.
I always like to say, like past tense, I'm experiencing homelessness right now.
Yeah.
Because some people become homeless and they be homeless for like 10 years. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can't
They kind of
see
accept
that.
that
Yeah.
situation and get stuck.
It's because
It's
people
not just
adapt.
it's the drugs as well. Like
Yeah, that's
honestly, like and yes, I was dealing with my struggle with fentanyl for 5 years. I'm currently sober.
We don't judge on
Thank
this
you,
channel.
thank you, Jesus. I'm currently sober.
Yeah, shout out to you for getting
And
sober.
what I realized about that is a lot of times when you're out on the streets and
Yeah.
you're on dope and things like that, we feel like our family has turned their back on us, which some have, but a lot of times we distance ourselves. because we don't want our peoples to see us like that. You know what I mean?
I concur. Yeah, that's real.
So that's what I realized. I was kind of like more so distancing myself, like,
as opposed to them just saying, "Hey, we don't want you in our life."
Right.
So
I didn't really give them the opportunity to say that. I just distanced myself. But at the same time, I was very codependent.
Okay.
Being homeless has taught me a lot. Like, I'm a survivor for real. I have good survival skills. That's one thing that I did learn throughout experiencing my homelessness. As far as the guys go, like, when I first became homeless in Arizona, I had a boyfriend. So I was kind of staying with him, you know what I mean? But when we broke up, I was actually like out on the street. And my first night I ever slept outside, I was at a bus stop on the south side, and I woke up to some man trying to touch my vagina.
Man, I'm sorry you had to
And it was just horrible. It was traumatizing. Honestly, like I said, I was dealing with fentanyl. I wasn't really into smoking meth and things like that. But I picked up a meth habit because I was scared to sleep. You know what I mean? I didn't want to get caught slipping, you know what I mean? And just from what I've been through as a child, waking up like that to that man trying to touch me was kind of traumatizing, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck that, you know what I mean? So I would literally stay up for, 3-6 days at a time, like, just because I don't want to make myself that vulnerable to the streets, you know what I mean?
So you just touched on, having to use meth to stay up.
Yes.
Now, why is it, I always ask this, why is it that people that are displaced or homeless steal people's credentials? Like their ID, social security card, and they also, obviously try to steal other things too, when definitely with women, but...
You know what? I think homeless people stealing from homeless people is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, that just blows me. Like, I'm appalled when it comes to that, because it's like, we should be sticking together. Like, we should be robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, you know what I mean? But everybody's steady trying to rob each other. But in my opinion, it's if someone's homeless, like I said, 9 times out of 10, they've probably been homeless for a while, and they probably haven't got a lot of things in their name.
Yeah, that's
you know what
true.
I mean? So it's kind of like fresh credit,
Oh, so
if somebody, like, they be scamming and getting the phones and all of that, 9 times out of 10, they never had a phone in their name, not a real phone, because they get the government phones. And I've always been an iPhone user myself. Since I've been homeless, I've had an Android, and I've never ever lost an iPhone in my life. But I have ran through Androids, like, so many, like, since I was homeless, like, for real.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, that's probably why, because they don't really use their social too much. So, and fresh credit is kind of good credit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Man, that's awful. I feel like it's a good analogy I use is it's like tripping someone on the way down to the lunch line.
Right.
You get it? Like, we're both going to be in the same spot.
Right.
I got to trip you first, though.
Yeah, I mean...
yeah, it's awful.
That's sorry.
Yeah,
that's messed up. People got to be like that.
Awful. Yeah.
But it's just the world we live in,
Yeah, I mean, and as far as, like, people being out here displaced, I got to ask this, too. Why do... I say the younger generation, but I don't know if it's quite them. It might be everybody. Why do they like 100 or it'll be like 30 people to a bus stop smoking, passing light bulbs, things of that nature? Like, why do they do that instead of? I remember when I was out, smoking weed or doing miscellaneous things I shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
I would at least have the decency to try to hide. I would go behind a dumpster. There's no way I could just stand in where the Lord and everybody can see.
The Lord is omnipresent. He sees everything at all times. But
yeah, that's true.
At first, I was more like you. Like I wanted to be discreet because I've always been like a closet user. You know what I mean? I do music, so it's not really a good look to be using those type of drugs and then doing business with people, and everybody just assumes, if you're on fentanyl, you steal, or, some people have morals. Like, through my addiction, I've always kept my morals. It's just some things that I will never do,
Man,
period.
That's dope. Yeah,
but,
that's amazing.
After a while, it was just like, fuck it. I'm not about to just keep hiding. Now, I'm a mother. Definitely, I'm a woman of God first, a mother secondly, an artist third, and a bad bitch immediately after, period. Okay. But, after a while, it's just like, fuck that. Like, honestly, most people have some type of addiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
something
pick your
that
poison.
they do. Yeah, yeah.
I just felt like if I'm ashamed, then I ain't got no business doing it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have respect for people and their children. You know, I would never, ever smoke in front of somebody's child. I would show other people's children the same respect I would show my own.
Man,
you know
that's
what I mean?
amazing. Yeah, see? Looks like you got a good head on your shoulders. And you definitely are smart and intelligent. And at the end of the day, it seems like you haven't been, overcome or succumbed to the being out here on these streets. Like a lot of people have, So that's a good thing that goes in your favor, Some people are, way out there and
burnt out.
Yeah, you feel sorry. Yeah, you feel sorry for them.
The old me. I feel like I went through my homelessness as a humbling process,
Oh, okay.
Like I told you, I do music, and before the elevation, there's always a humbling process that you have to go through.
Funny.
On top of that, like I told you, I'm a woman of God, and I'm very positive. I try to spread my joy, throughout
the world,
the community, the world,
cool.
or whatnot. And the old me, literally, like somebody like myself, or others on the street currently, I would have just like gave them $5 or $10 and hurried up and hop in my Benz and locked the door really fast, you know? And honestly, like probably 85-90% of people that I associated myself with when I was on dope, I would have never associated myself with if I wasn't on dope, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
But it's people that God needed me to reach. You know what I mean? That, like I said, the old me would have never even took the time to speak to. And it's like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. These people out here are broken, And the old me was shallow. I felt like, we got the same 24 hours in a day, or, I done been through this and I overcame it, but everybody's not strong. Everybody's not me.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you never know what a person been through. So I try not to judge anybody. I done been through way too much to ever judge anybody. But I guess it's just a sense of giving up. A lot of people out here just have gave up on themselves.
I think so too.
When I was on drugs, I never heard any of the people that I got high with talk about getting sober. When I got sober,
why is that? Everyone talks about it.
When I got sober, people that I would have never, ever thought would even put it in their mind, like, oh, I want to get sober, was like, man, like, it just takes one person to do something for them to realize, oh, I can do it too. You know what I mean?
It's true. That's true. And how I feel is, you touched on, you didn't say it outright, but I'm assuming this is where you were getting at. I feel like people have lost being humanitarianism. You know what I'm saying? Like being humane. At the end of the day, we're all, Fawn, everyone that in this world is someone's child,
Yes.
And so it seems like we lost our empathy, for lack of better words. It's like people don't even want to come up and talk to people nowadays just because they look homeless or they look like they've been through something. I just don't think that's right at the end of the day. And, I'm never going to pass no one by. If I see somebody, I'm going to at least get out and say, how you doing? Is there something I can do? I don't have much. I got $1, a couple dollars or something, or anything, maybe help with a pack of smokes, anything, but I'm definitely not going to pass them by and just,
me neither.
Treat them like
I'm an empath, so I really feel for people. I understand people on a deeper level.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you want a blessing, you must be a blessing. If you want love, you must show love, know? And people need to learn that when you do something, it should be because you genuinely want to do it for that person, not because you're expecting something in return. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one thing I notice about a lot of homeless people. Like, they'll ask me for something, like when I was on Blue, it's like, oh, you got a Blue, I'll get you back. And I'm like, you don't got to give me back. Like, they feel like they have to just come with something, but I'm not like that. Not with me. You don't have to come with nothing because I did it because I wanted to do it. Like,
first and foremost.
I get EBT. They had the hot food program. Literally, like 2 weeks ago, I bought like 60 tacos, and I was just handing them out to everybody.
Man,
like,
that's amazing.
It's
we
not
need more
much, but
like
it's
that.
something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I shout out to anybody who comes out here and does stuff for the people that are out here displaced.
But the crazy thing is, like, maybe 5 people said thank you.
I know, that's awful.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Some homeless people feel very entitled because they're used to others taking care of them, you know?
Very true. Very true.
But I, like, me, myself, I like to look at it like I'm living off the land, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, God gave us this land, right?
Very true.
God provided fruits and vegetables for us to eat, as well as some animals, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And we're actually eating some of the animals that are supposed to be helping us, but that's a whole other topic. And God gave us water, and you can get electricity from water. So it's really like the government's charging us for everything that God already gave us for free, you know?
True, I don't know.
So
what's the hold up?
I'm living off the land, you know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that.
I was living off the land.
Yeah. So about your childhood, if you don't mind touching on it. So did you have a good one? I heard you say that you were adopted or something like that. So what was your childhood like? Did you have a father, a mother, sister, siblings?
Well, I was in foster care. I went to foster care when I was like months old, and I was in Florida with my mother. And she lost custody of me and my brother. And we went in the system. Like I said, I got sex trafficked. But after sex trafficking, I moved with my grandmother. My grandmother got full custody of me and my brother out in California.
Okay.
Yeah. And my grandma, she was a registered nurse. She made good money. She owned her home. You know, back then,
Leave
people
it to
was
the
responsible.
Grandma. Yeah,
like,
leave it to grandma.
People saved their money back then because it's going to save you.
That's true.
Yeah, like, literally. So, my childhood, my granny literally dedicated her life to make sure that me and my brother were okay because she didn't really know what we went through in foster care. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask, how do you feel about the new law, no urban camping out here in Tempe? No urban camping. So how do you feel about it, and have you seen any of the effects of it taking place recently? Like people getting scared or not knowing where to go, getting tickets, people getting locked up, stuff like that.
I feel like that is tragic. Like,
isn't it? Man.
How are they gonna make homelessness illegal?
Yeah.
Like, you act like most of these people are not here by choice, you know?
True.
And it's like, I guess they said it's illegal to be homeless, and they'll lock you up for 7 days, put you on probation, and it's your PO's obligation to get you housing, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
$500 fine for urban camping, and
that's
about a month in jail because the actual bond is the same price as the $500 fine. If you're homeless and you can't pay it, you're stuck in jail for a month. Homelessness
is normally caused by trauma. So these people are out on the streets traumatized, and you're making them pay for it?
Yeah.
It's really, really insensitive. It's inhumane. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's like really crazy. Like
making them go to court and stuff when they have.
Because if they really had resources like that, then these people would not be homeless. So instead of making it illegal, how about you create resources? You know what I mean?
That was well said. Very well said.
That's crazy.
Thank you for that.
Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, literally, like, I was sitting at the bus stop, and I had the police pull up on me a couple times. Like, I had my little blanket at the bus stop, and they're like, oh, you can't be loitering over here, so, but honestly, it's like, this area's been dry. Like, ever since that happened, I haven't really seen a lot of people out on the streets, so.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, before there was hundreds. I mean, and now it seems like with this new law in place, they're, kind of dissipating. They're leaving the area. So I don't know what they're gonna do. This is sad, and hopefully, the government will do something about it. And there's always people that like me that come out here and try to talk. I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's gonna take the people, like you said, about people being having humility and being humanitarians. Like, this generation is pussy. Let me tell you, it's no real leaders out here. Like, just think about if we didn't have Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks never decided not to give up her seat. Like, back then people actually stood for something. You know what I mean? Nobody stands for anything anymore. Everybody's scared to speak up. Everybody allows the government and other people to silence them. Like, ain't nobody gonna silence me. I'm gonna speak my mind. Because these are issues that strongly need to be addressed.
Definitely.
And not only just addressed, like, somebody needs to take action. Really, like,
yes, ma'am.
if you're not a part of the solution, then you're part of the problem.
Very good. Well, I didn't want to keep you too long. I want to let you know that was an amazing interview.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You know, you're definitely special. I think that, you know, you got a bright future. I always ask, do you have a Cash App or anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I have an Instagram. I'm an artist. I do music as well. My Instagram is _Hella HELLA _Bella BELLA with another underscore at the end. I also have a YouTube channel, official Hella Bella. I got a podcast coming up, Each One Reach One Teach One, and I would love to have you on my podcast.
Yeah, no
Just,
problem.
you know, come through.
Yeah.
Chop it up,
definitely.
you know, talk about some more issues that need to be addressed. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
And I have a Cash App as well. My Cash App is $thehellabella. So just THEHELLABELLA.
And there it is, folks. Thank you so much for this interview. It's been amazing. You have a great day.
You too. God bless you.
God bless you.